Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about deadlock prevention in operating systems. So, a deadlock happens when two or more processes are stuck waiting for each other's resources indefinitely. For example, image process A has a printer and wants a file, while process B has the file and wants the printer. Both are waiting forever. It's just like two cars on a narrow bridge refusing to back up. In operating systems, deadlock cause serious performance problems because processes stop progressing and system resources are wasted. Kaufman's condition for deadlock. For a deadlock to occur, four conditions must hold at the same time. The first is mutual exclusion, which means only one process can use a resource at a time. The second is hold and wait, where a process holds some resources and waits for others. The third is no preemption, meaning the OS cannot forcibly take resources from a process. And finally, circular wait, where a group of processes form a circle, each waiting for a resource held by the next process. If we can prevent any of these four conditions, the system can avoid deadlock altogether. The concept of deadlock prevention. Deadlock prevention means designing the system so that at least one of these four conditions never happens. It's a proactive approach. We don't wait for a deadlock to occur. Instead, we prevent it by controlling how resources are allocated. For example, you can control the order in which process request resources or force them to request all resources in advance. The goal is to ensure that the system never enters an unsafe or circular waiting state. Preventing mutual exclusion. To prevent mutual exclusion, we try to make resources sharing. For instance, multiple processes can read the same file simultaneously since reading doesn't modify the file. Another example is using virtual spooling. Instead of directly using a printer, each process writes to a virtual buffer and the OS handles printer in order. However, this isn't always possible. Some devices like printers or disks simply cannot be shared. So this method is effective only for resources that allow simultaneous access. Preventing hold and wait. To prevent the hold and wait condition, we can make a process request all the resources it needs at once before starting execution. Alternatively, we can force it to release any resources it holds before requesting new ones. While this ensures that no process is holding one resource while waiting for another, it has some drawbacks. It leads to lower resource utilization before because processes might hold resources that they don't immediately need and it could cause starvation. Still, it's a simple and effective way to prevent deadlocks in smaller systems. Preventing no preemption. In this method, the system is allowed to preempt or take away resources from processes when necessary. For example, if a process requests additional resources that are not available, it can release its current resources, let others use them, and try again later. This method works well for resources that can be saved and restored easily, such as CPU registers or memory pages. However, for input devices or files, preemption is not practical because it can lead to data corruption. Still, allowing preemption in safe cases helps avoiding indefinite waiting. Preventing circular wait. To prevent circular wait, we assign a numerical order to all resource types and process must request resources in order, increasing order. For example, if we print as 1, if we number printer as 1, disk is 2, and scanner is 3, a process that needs all three must request them in that sequence. This ensures that a circular chain of waiting cannot occur. It's one of the most practical prevention methods, though assigning a proper order for all system resources can be sometimes complex. Advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage of deadlock prevention is that it completely avoids the deadlock problem. It keeps the system stable, predictable, and easy to manage since no detection or recovery mechanisms are needed. However, it also has some disadvantages. It can lead to low resource utilization and longer waiting times. In systems with many processes, it can be difficult to maintain these restrictions efficiently. So, while prevention is safe, it can make the system less efficient. To summarize, deadlock prevention focuses on breaking at least one of the four Kaufman conditions. We can prevent mutual exclusion by sharing resources, hold and wait by requesting all at once, no preemption by allowing release and reallocation, and circular wait by ordering resource requests. Unlike deadlock detection, this method avoids the problem completely rather than solving it afterwards. It's widely used in systems that require high reliability, such as embedded systems and critical service. Thank you.